Namaste friends, welcome Suswagatam to our Sunday edition of Words of Wisdom Gyan Ganga on our Virat Hindustan Sangam social media channels. We are happy today to have another interesting program, our 191st 191 episode of Words of Wisdom Gyan Ganga. Today's topic is Rahul Gandhi's expulsion and its implication for 2024, and in the next 40 minutes Dr. Subramanian Swamy and Sree Iyer will be discussing this issue. And as you know, Sree Iyer has been on our program numerous times. He is a inventor, patent right holder, writer, and the man behind P Gurus. And he is based in the United States. People look out for his articles or portal every day, and his numerous books. And very fond of colors. Who painted my color white? Who painted my states purple? And all these colorful personality he is. So I have to thank my co-hosts Ramesh Swamy and Arvind Chaturvedi, and our technical team led by Ashish Shetty, Tejas Navalgul, Swaminathan, Gadgi Rakesh, Ishwar Iyer, Vishal Mehta, and Ajesh Nair for their background help week after week since the last 3 years to put this program together every Sunday at 8 p.m. As you know, Virat Hindustan Sangam beams out this program on various social media channels. It is just not limited to YouTube or Facebook. It is on Spaces, it is on Instagram, and numerous other podcasts and other venues and social media channels. So make your choice and you can watch us. Even after the program is over, you can go to YouTube and go to the Virat Hindustan Sangam section and select our past episode. Even this episode and the past episode will be available. Welcome viewers across the globe in 121 countries which watch our program live every Sunday. So with these words, it is over to Dr. Swamy to initiate this discussion on Rahul Gandhi's expulsion and the implications for 2024. Thank you, Dr. Swamy.
Thank you, Jagdish. It's a pleasure to have Sree Iyer back in our program. He is a man who actually has 38 what are they called?
Patents.
Patents in California. But he has, for the sake of the country, he is now devoting a lot of his time for social and criminal matters here in our country and bringing out the facts in books. So here we have on an issue which is likely to be a major issue in the next elections, less than a year from now, and that is the incidents that have taken place in the case of Mr. Rahul Gandhi, which has led to his membership in Parliament to be scrapped, and he is also on a 30-day suspension of his 2-year imprisonment that he is supposed to get, unless he gets a higher court to overturn it. But at the moment, there doesn't seem to be any such move. What I'm going to do is I'm going to first say that Mr. Rajiv Gandhi should not be protected as if he's in. Excuse me, Rahul Gandhi should not be protected because he seems to be a serial offender. There is a case still pending of defamation where he accused the RSS of having killed Mahatma Gandhi. Now, when you look at the entire proceedings of the murder trial, and one of our VHS person has done our work, Mohandas in Kerala, and nowhere at any stage, whether in terms of examination or whatever, or FIR, any stage, RSS is even mentioned. So where does this whole thing come from? I don't understand. It's a kind of the Hitlerian type of repeating. And Jawaharlal Nehru did it, and then Indira Gandhi did it, and now this family is also doing it. Now, the fact is that what we find from Mr. Rahul Gandhi is that he doesn't do any studying, making notes and so on and so forth. He's basically makes just wild allegations, and this time seems to be in a little trouble. Now I won't get into the question of the legality, whether it was what the judge did was right or whether it should have been done differently and all that. But the fact is that he has been saying things which he has not denied. In Bangalore, he said that it appears from the names that he rattled off that the Modis are all crooks, and that is a slur on a community. And it is something that should have gone under the hate speech thing, but they went to the much milder defamation case. But they can still go for hate speech later on, which is seriously very long imprisonment provisions. So then you find, if you go back, you find that he was arrested in Boston. How can they deny it? Vajpayee got them let off by speaking to Condoleezza Rice in the U.S. government. But it is still there. I mean, it has not been written. The Americans never, once they start a criminal proceedings, they just keep it there, but they don't wipe it out unless it goes before court. So he was caught having some white-looking and things and a lot of cash. I think $160,000 or something, and he wasn't able to explain where he got it from. And so the Boston police in the airport picked him up. So that case is still there. It can be raked up any time. Then there is a case of a molesting of a woman in Amethi of 2005. It hasn't been closed, although the Supreme Court somebody went, and this is the old racket that happens, that somebody goes to the Supreme Court without any preparation, and the Supreme Court dismisses, saying there's no evidence. But that doesn't mean the Supreme Court is going to have it looked at again. But that's also pending. Then I found that in the National Herald case, which is where all of us here have played a role in collecting material and so on. Although the core issue is 5 criminal sections that have been violated, on which he's on bail, not only on bail, but he is also provided a surety in case he runs away, and that is Priyanka Gandhi. And of course, his mother also has provided a surety, and that is Anthony, A.K. Anthony. And then he also had put in, I think, 50,000 rupees as bond. And even though it has token, but it is a serious matter that the court has decided to put all the 3. The case has gone quite far, but recently there hasn't been progress because the government began to bring in the money laundering angle, and then a number of other things, and then the Urban Development Ministry is completely sleeping after having taken the property of the National Herald Company, which is called Associated Journals Limited. And there are many angles to which the National Herald is there, and I was hoping that all those will get completed so that my main case will become very easy. But I think they're starting next month. I'm going to go to the court and start the proceedings. Of course, it's been held up because every document I ask for, they object, and then sometimes the magistrate also makes a mistake on denying me those documents for a variety of reasons, and then I have to go to appeal. So right now I'm on appeal for getting in documents for the process. And there, I can tell you the accumulated amount for punishment is 20 years. And I have not yet included a section, I think, which would mean even it could be in that particular thing, because they are public persons, it can be a life imprisonment. So that is on, and we'll look at it later. Now, There are also books which have been written by respected people. A great scholar with a PhD from Harvard, Russian, Afghana Albatz. She's written a book, KGB, A State Within a State, which you should buy and read. It's available freely in the market. It's available in Amazon. And there she describes how Rahul Gandhi was used to carry currency from Moscow, and how her mother was connected with the KGB, and so on. That's there now. Whether that's made up or not, but she was part of a commission set up by Yeltsin, who was president at that time, to examine all the wrong things that KGB did. So I can go on and on and on. I don't want to delay anything which will stop. And I don't want to take more time. I would like to hear myself here, Sree Iyer. So I'll just simply say that I would like to think that Mr. Modi is very serious to take this to his logical end, because at the moment the speed with which it has gone, some of the courts may not like it. I'm not predicting what's going to happen. We may have to then recycle the whole thing and come back, but that'll be a waste of time. So I would like Mr. Modi to get his law ministry to completely vet it and make sure that there are no loopholes left in this matter. And of course, if Mr. Modi wants my help, I'm ready to give him that help for this one occasion. Otherwise, there are other things which are involved. So over to our good friend, Sree Iyer. Please tell us how you see this whole matter from your perspective.
Namaskar, Dr. Swamy and VHS family and all our viewers who are watching this program. It's always a treat and a pleasure and an honor to be invited as a guest. And Dr. Swamy, I will say this thing flat out. Mr. Rahul Gandhi has been a big source of inspiration for our cartoon team. And without him, we wouldn't be giving some inspired cartoons that P. Gurus has become famous for. With your permission, sir, I'd like to share just what we thought were the top 5 cartoons involving Rahul Gandhi. We will just go through them and I'll kind of explain the timeline, because if you see these cartoons, these are dated 5 years ago, and you can see that this train is going to come home someday. So with your permission, sir, I'd like to show the cartoons. This was the first one, and this really went viral. I mean, in Facebook and in P Gurus, if I combine the number of views, it's in millions, Dr. Swamy. This was in 2017, and Rahul Gandhi had made a grand statement that he is going to read Vedas and Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads to counter RSS and BJP. So we kind of made up a thing saying that this guy goes into a study room, and what comes out is a total Sangi with including, the thing in his hand, string in his hand. And those days, sir, they were still wearing khaki. Now we are into brown and pants. So you can imagine, this was in 2017, and it was a very clever, idea of execution by our cartoonist, Akshay Chandar. But you can see that he is very inspiring for us. Whenever he comes out with a statement, aha, here he goes, our light bulbs go off and we go and do some really creative cartoons. Here is the next one. And this came in 2018. And in this, the North Korean, dictator and Trump were trading talk about, I have a nuclear bomb, and Trump saying that I have an even bigger nuclear button on my desk. And then our Rahul Gandhi comes in and says, oh, press the button. You will see that the vote will go for BJP.
Nuclear button.
Yes. So we always found some humor in whatever he said and uttered, and it used to really, really do well. This was another video. I mean, this cartoon was in 2018. It did extremely well too. Here's the next one. This one is more of a retake on Diwar. This is the name of a movie, sir. In 1975 it came, and it kind of made Amitabh Bachchan, the angry young man that he became after that. And on his hand, is tattooed that Mera Baap Chor Hai. So, there were a lot of allegations about how Sonia Gandhi was indeed stealing, and we know that in National Herald, there is a very clear-cut black and white instance. So we kind of took the news item and married the two together and came up with this cartoon. And this was in 2018 again. I'm just going to take a couple more and then we'll be done. So here you can see that Rahul Gandhi has been taking trips abroad, whereby he has been preaching things such as what he did in the recent talk. So this is not new. Whatever we are saying now, whatever we are seeing now that he said in Cambridge is not new. It came as early as in 2018. He has been saying things, essentially flat out lies. Unfortunately, or fortunately for them, Congress at least, the Western media has lapped it up, played it up, and even today we see USC IRF putting out these blatant untruths. It's only the last couple of years that P Gurus and a few other journals and video sites have taken it upon ourselves to start calling out the lies that are being manufactured at the source of some of these things. Because what happens is the USC IRF starts saying something, then the Department of State, they know the truth, but they still want to embarrass India, and they'll take that thing and play it up. So these are things that now are in play. We are fighting back, we are pushing back, and at least to the extent that we are able to succeed also. And this is another one in 2019. Sir, this, you see the thing. This is where we are saying it tells you that the Rahul Gandhi's thing about, claim that he is not beyond, defaming the country of India. This is 2019. So all these things gave us an idea that this man was getting into a bit of a mess. And so what we see today is the full of all these, the fruit of all these things is what we are seeing today. Can you take away the cartoons, please? I'm not able to remove it. Thank you. So this is just one aspect of Rahul Gandhi. But Dr. Swamy, Modi has put a lot of confusion among the opposition ranks now. See, the opposition ranks were getting ready for a non-Congress alliance of the rest. And now what has happened is, by this expulsion and possibly imprisonment, because now the ball is in Rahul Gandhi's court, whether he wants to appeal the 2-year sentencing or whether he let the clock run out on the 30 days and then go to jail and become, hope to become a, big martyr or, get that, victimhood status. So what happens now is the opposition doesn't know what to do. Do we fall behind him and support him? In which case, then the Congress starts becoming more relevant in the opposition strategy, or do we ignore it? So they have this wishy-washy response that you're seeing now. They kind of want to say that, yes, what happened was wrong. At the same time, they don't want to go whole hog and then, start showing up in Satyagraha, for example, and say that, what has been done is wrong. Because this is not the only instance. And I, in fact, had a program, 5-minute program, where I did, listed how many places Rahul Gandhi has done defamatory statements, and all of them can come home to roost. So this is a challenge for him. Now, this is not the only thing, Dr. Swamy. There was this article, there was this company called Back Ops, BACKOPS. Now, see, this is another black and white instance. And this is available in Company House, pgurus.com, published all the printed data. I mean, we have the PDFs. Anybody can go and look it up. And in that, you can see he was a company secretary of this Back Ops of the there's a Back Ops in India, there's a Back Ops in England, but in the Company's House of UK, you have him signing as a company secretary where he says, I'm a citizen of Britain or UK. I mean, it is his signature, his statement, and yes, it doesn't get more black and white than this. So my question...
just interrupt you. I have given this to the Home Ministry, that this violates the Article 9 of the Constitution, and therefore his citizenship should be cancelled. And the Rajnath, when he was there, he sent a notice to him. But since then, since Rajnath left, nobody has taken this. This is a open shut case. Yeah, please go ahead. Sorry.
No problem, sir. See, my question to all the people who are now saying that, Rahul Gandhi is being victimized, this is an unforced error. He said it on his own. This is way back in, I think, 2007 or 8, sometime during then, that he filed these documents. And Indian law is very clear. You cannot be the citizen of more than one country. You automatically lose Indian citizenship if you choose to become a citizen of another country. And they say that his name was even on the voter rolls in UK. I mean, for whatever it is worth, this man has said that I am a British citizen, and therefore he automatically stands to lose his Indian citizenship, ergo everything else that goes with that. And why are you making so much noise? Are the opposition politicians afraid that many of them also have secretly obtained citizenship of other countries? Is that why they are afraid? See, this is another big thing back in his back pocket. Modi has a big trump card. He can make this thing happen. He can essentially strip him of Indian citizenship. And by the way, viewers, and Dr. Swamy knows this, this guy has 2 Indian passports, not one. 2 Indian passports, identical date of birth. The only difference is the name. One is Rahul Gandhi, the other is Rahul Vinci.
Yeah.
And when the IAS officer who was asked to do this thing said that you cannot have this, he was told, don't ask any stupid questions, just do what you're told to do. This is another article that came in pgurus.com.
Yeah.
So I mean, the amount of excesses committed it will fill up this whole room. And you start crying. What are you, God? Or even better than God? What are you? Law is the same for everyone. And it used to really irk me, Dr. Swamy, in 2015, even in 2016, there used to be this big table of people listed in any airport saying the following people will not be frisked. And you know whose name I used to see? Robert Vadra. What the hell did he do to deserve that? I mean, these people were beyond hubris. And whatever is coming down their way is nothing. I mean, if anything, I'm still saying that the Modi government is guilty of inaction. It should have done this thing a long time ago. I mean, these are all, you cannot take everything and start extracting political mileage out of it. That is just nonsense. And it just doesn't, and then you get elected in the first 3 months, you enact all the hard reform, and then afterwards go on bat for defense. Governance is for all 5 years. Anyway, this is my 2 cents. There are many other things I can go on, Dr. Swamy. I have 3 more observations, but I thought I'll stop at this point. Maybe have other people ask questions, and I can throw more light on some of the other things that Mr. Rahul Gandhi has done.
Sure. Jagdish.
There are quite a few questions from the viewers, so if you don't mind, I can quickly point them out, Dr. Swamy, because it's today has been very interactive. We've been a lot of viewers. Okay, the first question, Dr. Swamy, is a lot of them have asked the status of national herald. I think you've said briefly, so we can talk about that. Number one, so just give a very brief thing as to the status of national herald, because which is also a very significant case that can throw these Gandhis behind bars.
You see, it's the prima facie case that they are guilty was proved in Patiala House. They had to appear and take bail. Otherwise, the other alternative was being sent to jail. But I didn't think that they should go to jail unless they are convicted. Just for to make a case that they will run away and therefore they should be kept in jail. It didn't seem appropriate. The court then imposed a surety, and that was for Rahul Gandhi. It was, as I said, it was Priyanka, that in case he runs away, then Priyanka goes to jail. And same thing with Anthony. If Sonia Gandhi runs away, then jumps bail, so to speak. It is him. So after that, the process started to see whether charges can be framed. Yes, there was a prima facie case. The court said, yes, prima facie case is there, that they have done fraud, and they have these are the sections of IPC which they have violated. It's all prima facie. Now to give some teeth to that prima facie so that we can go to trial, because so far they have not been given an opportunity to present their case. But what is happening, with the second stage, they are allowed to cross-examine me. So the process of cross-examining going on. In the meantime, a number of other actions have been taken. For example, income tax. They have actually fined them and they have charged them that they had swallowed a lot of money and they didn't pay income tax, and their fines are there. So that is one. Then the fact is that the National Herald House was taken over by them on illegally. That was another. Third is that they used land allotted by the previous governments to build their own institutions, and that was also illegal. They're supposed to print newspapers in, say, Bandra, in Lucknow, in Patna, Indore, and so on. That also, they didn't do, and they, in fact, in Madhya Pradesh, they have started a big store for goods and so on. So all these processes going on for which I have to summon documents. Now, every document I summon, they have been objecting. And in one particular case, I asked for a document under a section which was not applicable. So before I could change it to the section under which I could ask, the magistrates took the stand, no, this we will not give. So I have come to the High Court, and the High Court, I regret to say, has been we have been slow. There have been a number of adjournments. Then there is Corona, and so on. So now from this April, we will get moving. And once I get the court to say that yes, you can summon these documents, and I'll go back to the trial court, and the trial will start. Now, at the moment, I am presenting the evidence. After this, I have a right to summon witnesses, and then the court will decide whether charges can be framed. And those 5 charges are framed, then the trial starts. And at that time, they will again have to undergo the process of being subject to whether they should be kept in jail or they should be.
Thank you. Thank you. So there is another question from Prashant Kumar. It says, is the Rahul Gandhi expulsion an advantage for Congress?
Well, if he is deprived of his citizenship on the basis of the backups documents which they submitted to what we call as registrar companies, they call it in England as company law. And when I submitted this when Rajnath was Home Minister, this was referred to the Indian High Commission. The Indian High Commission said that these are documents, genuine documents. They are blatantly, incriminating. So in that, if he's deprived of citizenship, I don't think that in this country there will be any revolt to oppose that.
And for this particular case, for whatever that he's been convicted now, that's not going to prevent him from running into 2024, right?
Well, what he has been in this.
If you say or if they moved away.
I don't think that an appeal against this can be decided quickly, because then they have to give notice to other side. First, they'll have to hear them and see whether they have a case to appeal, and then the other side will be given notice, and then that process. By then, the elections will come, and I think I don't see him contesting elections unless our lawyers from the government they make some big mistake by which the courts get annoyed and set it all aside.
And even leave alone the Augusta Westland case, somebody has raised that issue as well. I mean, that is also hanging. That's
for storage. I had presented the whole case in Parliament. and our the then defense minister was so pleased with it that he, in fact, took it up in the cabinet and said, now we should, prosecute these people and put out warrants against them. But then he passed away, and so now it is just lying, and is not. I'm also not in Parliament.
See, there is another viewer interest. I mean, obviously, this is a very important, very well known sentiment in social media that Rahul Gandhi is the biggest campaigner for BJP. So is BJP shooting themselves in the foot by moving him out of the picture?
Actually, no.
Dr.
Swamy, you go ahead, sir. You go ahead first, sir. And
It's a very short answer. Just learn from Mr. Vajpayee. He said Sonia Gandhi should not. I had raised a number of issues about Sonia Gandhi that time, not national level, but of her connection with KGB and things like that. And the government of Vajpayee had, in fact, got a confirmation from the Russians, but Mr. Vajpayee took the stand that it is good for BJP if Sonia Gandhi is the challenger. And it turned out to be all wrong, because Indians vote against a party. They don't vote for any party per se. Yes, sir.
Sree, you can go.
Yeah. See, viewers, I have a slightly different opinion on this. See, what has happened now is the opposition is confused. There was a semblance of, rallying behind maybe Mamata Banerjee, because Mamata Banerjee is probably the biggest in terms of vote catcher. The other option is Stalin, but Mamata Banerjee, being an ex-congresswoman herself, maybe she could have some amount of traction in other states. So some coalition of some sort was beginning to form. Now, by Rahul Gandhi being thrust in the front and center, what happens is the other people in opposition, they can neither ignore Congress nor they can allow them in. Because if they allow them in, that's back to what it was before. See, we have to also remember, in the UPA regime, the Congress was not afraid to sting its own coalition partners. How else can you explain them jailing Raja and Kanimori? Right? DMK was still a partner in their government. And they used to use CBI to blackmail Mulayam Singh Yadav. I mean, these are all written and published in P Guru's, viewers. I'm not saying anything new. So what I'm saying is, now there is confusion in the opposition ranks. What do? Do we get behind this guy? Or do we just say, ignore this whole thing, and then we just keep saying our narrative? Unfortunately for the other opposition politicians, they kind of toe the same line, Dr. Swamy. When they are abroad, they badmouth India. See, ghar ki baat ghar mein rehni chahiye. There is a difference. You have to conduct yourself, dignifiedly. These days, every gully, chappa, people are getting social media news about whoever says, and they know that, this is this guy's true colors. So they have. I am yet to see a single opposition candidate. Maybe Naveen Babu doesn't say anything against, but he is the cleverest politician, Dr. Swamy, in my opinion. Doesn't know a word of Oriya. This is important for people who don't know about this. He doesn't speak Oriya very well. He has been brought up outside. He's very fluent in English. And yet, the people love him. He just keeps getting re-elected. So something clearly he's doing right. So, but do we hear the opposition uniting behind Naveen Babu? No. And he also doesn't say yes or no to them. Maybe he's participating in a few lunches here and there. See, the point I'm trying to make is, opposition also needs to understand, if you want to be running the country of India, you have to be inclusive. You have to also project that, I am capable of leading this country with all the complications that it presents. That messaging, that trust me, I can run this country better than Mr. Modi. That one line, who can prove that theorem, is the question, sir.
Jagdish, you wanted to ask the question. Go ahead.
No, the most important question which viewers are asking is, what is the implication for 2024? So we would like to have first Dr. Swamy and then Sree Iyer telling us in short, in 2-3 sentences, what is the implication on 2024?
Well, the conventional wisdom in the BJP is that if Rahul Gandhi is the leader of the opposition, then we have an easy walkover. I don't believe that. This is the same mistake that Vajpayee committed in 2004 2024 when he advanced the election by 6 months. You see, I personally feel that it's the elections would be on the issue of what affects the public, and it'll be I don't know what's going to happen about the China thing if it comes out publicly that the Chinese have occupied 4,000 square kilometers of Indian territory across the LAC, which was a mutually agreed line. I think countries' patriotism will erupt. If the economic situation, which is quite bad, could get worse because the world over there are some problems developing that could have an impact. So I would say that his being there, not there, in my opinion, is not going to make much difference in 2024. It will be what kind of a face we project at that time. And we should be able to say that, well, we on Hindutva, we have done everything that we promised to do, and not say, no, we'll do it next time, and so on. There are some grumblings going on in the hardline Hindutva crowd, which says that the present government is not giving much attention to that. So those are the factors that I think are more important. This one is only basically, I would say that if Mr. Rahul Gandhi is convicted and sent to jail without any other escape, yes, it will be a plus, but it will not be enough to tip you over the winning line.
Sree Iyer ji, your take on the matter?
Yeah, in 2024, I believe that the Modi government is going to come back. In fact, I am actually thinking how much more than 303 will they get? Up ki par, 400 ki par, that is a little bit difficult in my opinion. It's just because, there will be people who will not be happy with the local MP for whatever reason. But I think Modi government will be able to form the government again. But the more important thing, Dr. Swamy and viewers, you need to understand this. Do you agree with this style of functioning that every crisis I'm going to try and extract political capital out of it? That I'm having a bit of a difficulty. I'll give you a simple example.
Yeah.
In the Indian consulate, San Francisco, okay, these Khalistani lumpens, they
Yeah.
broke down the doors and they in fact they used the wooden rod which is sharp on the other side. They tried to spear some of the employees. They got hurt too. And all this stuff is known to the State Department, United States Department of State. Beyond making some noises, they've done nothing. They have not instructed this San Francisco Police Department, catch all these guys and put them behind bars. All the information is with them, and they have not done anything. Why these are connected is that India, if they keep on thinking that we will just do it at the time of elections, these kinds of things will happen, because in the US government may be thinking, why should we do all these things? Let this thing fester a little bit more. Who knows? Maybe they are upset with Modi for not doing something, perhaps not taking their line in the Russia-Ukraine crisis. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say, sir, is there are things that have to be done today, now. Jo aaj kare so ab kar. Those kinds of things. You cannot, delay them and say, okay, this will help me in the elections and therefore I'll do it. So this mindset has to change. And I think that is the thing that I hope the viewers, the voters tell that message to Modi. I mean, he doesn't even come for any press conferences. There is all one-way talk. That is also wrong. Why can't they put a press briefing every day? What they have done. And they can tom-tom what they have done. I have no problem with that. At the same time, the press should be able to ask questions. That interaction should be there. Even in Trump, who was supposed to be one of the most dictatorial presidential attitudes, even he had a press conference. In fact, he would answer all the questions. What is preventing Modi ji from taking some questions? Why this one-way communication? Anyway, these are all some of my questions, sir. But ultimately, 2024, I think BJP is coming back. And I think this is going to spread more confusion among the opposition ranks, because they need to make up their mind. And they can't keep on blaming the EVM. They were given a chance to come and prove that the new EVM with VVPAT was somehow compromised. They couldn't prove it. The CEC was set aside a day or two. They said anybody can walk in and show us what's the problem, and nobody did. So that is this is the challenge. Maybe when opposition candidates such as Mr. Kejriwal says that Modi didn't even cross 10th standard, idiot, you are an IIT Kharagpur guy. Don't you have brains? Can't you prove it? He can't, because you go and look at his entrance. What rank did he get in the entrance exam? JEE entrance exam? See, this is the problem. Everybody has something in their closet, skeleton in their closets. So that is life, sir. In politics is the last refuge of the scoundrel, barring a few. I'm adding this, is the norm in India.
Otherwise, I sue you.
अरुण जी, आप कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं?
पूछने को तो बहुत कुछ है.
हाँ,
ठीक है, आपने अवसर दिया इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. द इशू इज व्हाट इज द फेट ऑफ कंट्रीमैन in 2024.
Yeah.
Now Sree Iyer is committed. He has committed 300 or 400 or whatever number, but he feels that Modi is going to come back. I think it will depend on index of opposition unity. Index of opposition unity, IOU as it is called, has been very, very weak because Rahul Gandhi was leader of the Congress and nobody was willing to take Rahul Gandhi as the leader. Yesterday, day before yesterday, 2 days back, Mamata, Kejriwal, Akhilesh, KRS, all these people have been saying all along that Rahul cannot lead the opposition. Now, since Rahul is out of the way, there seems to be some possibility of better index of opposition unity, in my opinion. And therefore, the next few months will determine. I maintain that if the Ram temple is ready by December, Modi will inaugurate the Ram temple and go for election maybe 3, 4, 5 months before it is due. And therefore, BJP has better chances because of the organization, and they want to give less and less time to the opposition. And therefore, it is now in the hands of the opposition. How do they shun their egos, respective egos, and come together in absence of Rahul Gandhi, who was, I think, a bigger impediment in the opposition unity. And now, therefore, since Rahul is out, I mean, even if the court, High Court or the Supreme Court, whichever he goes to, even if they suspend his sentence, which has already been given for 30 days, if it is extended, I think Rahul is out of the picture. And public opinion is also very important. Public opinion is not to take Rahul as the challenger to Modi. Modi can only be challenged by two persons, in my opinion, Kejriwal or Mamata. Take it from me, over a period of time, Mamata or Kejriwal will emerge as the leader of the opposition if Congress does not play a very important role, even if they change the leadership. Khadge is of no importance at all. If they bring Priyanka Gandhi, they have tried in UP, she has failed. So even if they change the leadership, Congress is not going to be an important player in the opposition, and therefore the leadership will go to either TMC or Aam Aadmi Party. And it depends on certain events. You have only 6 months. And why I'm saying 6 months? Because I definitely feel elections will be preponed. Elections will not go till May 2024. It may be at most January 2024. Therefore, opposition has very little time, and it's good. The law of the courts of the country have done very good thing in favor of opposition unity. That is my view.
Okay. Sree Iyer ji, please go ahead.
Arvind ji, with all due respect, मेरा ख्याल आपसे बिल्कुल 180 degrees opposite है और मैं क्यों
Nothing, it doesn't matter. Two people should not agree on everything. If the two people agree on everything, then one of them is redundant.
Sir, this is what I read, sir. Last week, there was in National Press Club in Washington, D.C., there were two officials of Kashmir Valley who had come there, and they were making a presentation as to how much development has happened in the last few years. And this is the truth, sir. Whether it was Mufti or Abdullah government, anybody who was running J&K, the money was a direct connect into their pockets. In no schemes ever went to the people. But ever since the 370 got abolished, the village development councils had elections. The money is now directly going to the villages. There is no middleman in here. And the people can see that. So what happened in this National Press Club meeting was two officials were making a presentation there about what are all the progress that has been happening in the Kashmir Valley. One was, I think, the mayor of Varahamula. I'm deliberately using the Sanskrit word. You guys can figure out what that is. And there were 5 lumpen Pakistanis sitting in that meeting. They tried to disrupt the meeting. You know what happened? The first time, these guys were booted out. I have a video I heard about a few hours ago. You can see it for yourself. These guys are getting angry. You know why Pakistanis are getting angry in US? Because they are getting weaker by the day. So the longer Modi waits, the longer Pakistan disintegrates, and it's going to get worse for China. China has given a $700 million loan as part of a $1.5 billion loan, but 8 to 10% interest rates. No country ever gives that high an interest rate. That is usurious when when a country lends to another country. Dr. Swamy will know about this. So what is going to happen every day? I don't know if you saw this thing or not, Arvind ji. Yesterday there was a mile-long line for getting 1 kilo of atta in Pakistan. People are dying, sir. The reason why the longer he waits, the worse it's going to get. And at one point of time, Pak-occupied Kashmir will say, we want to unite with India, bye-bye Pakistan. And they have to do some specific concrete steps. India shouldn't even have to fire a bullet for this. Once that happens, when the people say it, don't talk about politicians, and the people in POK say, we want to unite with India, that is the day when suddenly everything is going to start falling apart in Pakistan. And that day is not far away. They are already talking about, there are 3 or 4 small parties there. They're all talking about coming together, find out and make a joint resolution that this is what we want. We want our future to be decided by us. You don't tell us. And they are also coming up with some plans saying that all these Punjabi ex-servicemen have been resettled here. They have forced Punjabi down our throat. They want us, we want them out. One other thing I'll tell you, Arvind ji, the degrees obtained in Pak-occupied Kashmir are not being recognized in erstwhile Pakistan. Can you believe that? So things are really bad.
Why we are wasting time on Pakistan? I don't know.
No, I'll tell you why we are wasting time on Pakistan. With all respect, Balakot was a big determining factor in 2019, and POK will be the same thing in 2024. That's my take. And India will have to do nothing. You just have to sit and wait, and it will fall in your lap. Whether it is before the elections or after, it is around that time it's going to happen, because the other side also knows. The POK people who are basically Indians, they also know that this is the time we can put this is when we have the best leverage. Otherwise, Modi will go back to looking at other problems. So there is a dynamic going on right now. In my opinion, that is going to also happen. So one way or the other, I don't think there is a need for him to prepone the elections. He can do it in May or April timeframe, and he'll come back with a bigger majority. That is my 2 cents, and this is why.
Okay, I will replace your he by BJP. BJP may come back,
well,
but I'm not talking about Modi. Whether Modi comes back or not, that's not my issue. My
why don't we make it even more? I'll say NDA, sir. We'll make it NDA.
There's no
NDA will come back. Okay.
So
I have some comments to make. Number one, I feel irrespective of Rahul Gandhi or no Rahul Gandhi, irrespective of his expulsion, that will not make any impact as far as BJP coming to power, back to power in 2024 is concerned. That's my one observation. My second observation is on the expulsion matter, as far as the present court case is concerned of the Surat court. I am very sure in the next few days, a stay order or an interim order will be got from the higher court, whether it's the session court or the high court, and people will then realize that there was some haste done by the BJP in only pursuing one case for his expulsion. What BJP should have done and should do is Dr. Swamy has given them a bouquet or a basket of cases against the corrupt Congress dynasty family, starting with the National Herald. He has given on the back of double citizenship of Rahul Gandhi. If I'm not mistaken, Dr. Swamy is the only politician who openly wrote a letter to the government headed by Narendra Modi, even giving the bank account number, foreign bank account number of the dynasty family. One doesn't know why Modi has slept over it. So it is just not the one case expulsion, which may be perhaps stopped by the courts and a stay given. They should have equally pursued the corruption cases against this family. I am surprised why Narendra Modi, when he talks about "main khaunga nahi, khane ko dunga nahi," why is he silent on this? This was a golden opportunity on a corruption case, finish of the dynasty family, where viewers today across are writing to us in our chat box with so many questions against this issue. So my take is BJP is coming back to power, irrespective of whatever happens with Rahul. Perhaps Rahul may get some relief, but whatever Dr. Swamy on the corruption issue is pursuing against the Gandhi family, the government must wake up and take it to its logical conclusion. This is my personal take on the matter.
Jagdishji, I completely agree with you, but the chances of that happening is very low, as we have seen all these years. I mean, obviously the credit goes to Dr. Swamy. I think what we can do, appeal Dr. Swamy, is you kind of, as we say in Tamil, basically you just write off all the property of your intellectual property of on these cases to Modi ji. Tomorrow action will be taken. Arvind ji, one thing I agree with you is that 2024 BJP is coming up, but you said the IOU. There is a bigger chance, if Rahul Gandhi and the family are out of the picture, that the opposition can come together. I think it's good for the country. It's good for the democracy per se. It's good for the democracy, saying that there will be some decent opposition mounted by Mamta and Arvind Kejriwal or whoever that might be. If the Gandhi Parivar is gone, I think India has a better, brighter future in terms of having a very decent opposition.
Absolutely.
You can't have Modi get 400 seats. Basically, we're going into dictatorialship. We'll just have another Putin in India. I don't think it is very healthy for the democracy per se. You need to have a decent opposition. That, I think I agree completely with Arvindji, that it could be Mamta or something like that. We don't know who it is, but definitely the Gandhi Parivar needs to get out. And obviously, Jagdishji, the cases that Dr. Swamy has against the Gandhis and the entire Parivar, the Bambinos and Bottle and the whole Parivar is so strong, but the government doesn't want to take it up. They're just dragging their feet over this for almost 6.5 years. They are doing nothing on the citizenship case. That one single case can throw this guy not only in jail, he can be stripped of his citizenship. He can go to Italy or wherever he wants, wherever he has a citizenship, or UK. National Herald is one case, the entire family can be finished. But this government is least bit interested. They're just using it as a bargaining chip. That's all we can see. There is no reason for this to get delayed any further. And there are so many cases that can completely decimate the government. This government is just trying to use it against whenever they want. They are using cheap tactics like making ED run after these people. I'm pretty sure, Arvindji, that Arvind Kejriwal will have more ED, CBI, whatnot cases. All the three-letter word agencies will be running after him pretty soon.
Arvind, before you conclude, perhaps, Dr. Swamy, some quick question for viewers. Viewers want to know what are the education qualification of the Gandhi Parivar, starting with Jawaharlal Nehru. If you can quickly give, because a lot of viewers are asking the viewership. So if you can quickly give, starting with perhaps Jawaharlal Nehru.
Jawaharlal Nehru went to Cambridge, as those days elites were from India were given special admissions, and he did not get qualified to get a bachelor's degree, but there is a gentleman pass that is meant for those who came from the colony. So on that basis, he got a gentleman pass degree, which is really failed, but it's like getting instead of getting B plus, getting B, that sort of thing. But anyway, he did not get a degree. So Indira Gandhi went to Oxford and failed there, and she came back without anything. Then after that, Rajiv Gandhi went to Cambridge, and then he failed there. He went to then transferred to there was an Imperial College in London. I don't know whether he got a degree or not, but he certainly got a wife there, and he came back to India. But I will say this about Rajiv Gandhi: he was genuinely modest. He was very straightforward. And I liked him a lot, but that doesn't matter. But the fact is, you asked about the degree. As far as Rahul Gandhi is concerned, his father talked to me about sending him to Harvard. I told him his degrees are no good, but there is a provision of some $10 million which will give you admission to Harvard. But that once you get in, you have to perform. And that's exactly what happened. He got into Harvard and he didn't perform. And within 4 months, they sent him, because I think he had gone too many times to the clinic for to shake off certain drugs that he had taken. Then he went to a small place in Florida, and there he got an undergrad degree. And then that, of course, I don't want to value this, etc. People say I'm snooty and so on. But he did have people like Amartya Sen in Cambridge who had him come over, but he couldn't get admission to any of the good courses. So he went into something called, which was very popular during World War II. And hardly any students there. I visited that department, and in that department, I said that has he got an MPhil? The department chairman said if he got an MPhil, his thesis would be in the library. So she took me to the library, and we didn't find his name. We looked at the computer; his name was not there, and ultimately she got his grades, and he had failed. But so he came back without anything from Cambridge. As far as Priyanka is concerned, I know at one stage she failed in Hindi in Jesus and Mary College. Afterwards, she got a degree and all. I don't know whether she did it again and pass in Hindi. And it's a family which is totally uneducated, and it didn't matter to them in Indian politics.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Swamy. Arvind, you may wind up.
Just on the last point, what Dr. Swamy said about Nehru family, Kejriwal has also been saying that our Prime Minister padha likha hona chahiye. And our Prime Minister has not even produced the entire political science degree, even after RTI. And questions regarding his education qualification have always been denied. I don't know whether he's really masters or not. But yes, I agree with Arvind Kejriwal that हमारा प्रधानमंत्री पढ़ा लिखा होना चाहिए. Okay, coming back to the winding up this program. Sree Iyer has given a diagonally opposite view to many of us, and of course he is right. I agree with him on certain issues like BJP will come back, because if opposition is not strong, BJP is likely to come back. And the problem is that there is no single leader who can lead opposition against BJP. We are not talking about leading against Modi, because we are just talking about the party and not the leader. And as the time passes, there may be some kind of consensus emerging, because as I feel, Rahul Gandhi was an impediment, and that impediment is out. And once that road is clear, maybe some opposition leader will emerge. Earlier I said Kejriwal, Mamta, and Sree said Naveen Patnaik, or whatever. I mean, of course, one of them will emerge. In 89, BP Singh was the leading against Congress. In 2004, there was no leader identified. Of course, they were saying Sonia will come, but then Manmohan Singh was nominated. So whatever happens, the scenario is going to be very, very interesting. And next 6 months will actually determine the future of the next Lok Sabha and the fate of the Indian voters. We will be meeting again next Sunday, 8 p.m. to discuss another topic with Dr. Subramanian Swamy and another guest. I must thank Dr. Subramanian Swamy for initiating the discussion, providing huge information about Gandhi family and issues. It's very surprising to see that government of India acted, or Parliament acted, in a single day after the Surat court judgment. Because if they were in such a hurry, they could have done it few years back when Dr. Swamy had given the papers. But I think the reason was they did not want to give credit to Dr. Swamy, and that's why they did not act on that. Of course, Rajnath Singh only passed on the paper, but thereafter nothing moved. Anyway, they did not want to give credit to Dr. Swamy for removing Rahul Gandhi from the scene, and that's why they did not act on this. Now, scenario is very clear. Thanks, Dr. Swamy, for this. Thank you, Sree Iyer ji. Many viewers today were new viewers added to this program. And if we look at the frequency, I am surprised the frequency with which the responses were coming. It was, I think it surpasses all the previous records. So that this program must be very, very popular. And thank you, Dr. Swamy and Sree Iyer, for this. Thanks, Jagdish Shetty ji. Thank you, Ramesh Swamy ji. Thanks, the technical team led by Ashish Shetty, Swaminathan, Tejas Navalgul, Gadgi Rakesh, Ishwar Iyer, Vishal Mehta, Najesh Nair. Next Sunday, we will be meeting again with VHS sponsored program, Words of Wisdom, Gyan Ganga. Till then, Namaskar, Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.